What's going on, everybody? Thank you for clicking on this video today. If y'all new to the channel and like the content, please make sure to like, subscribe, like always. Be very much appreciated. But today, it's time to talk about some boxing. If you haven't seen my last video, that was my first video coming back after being gone for a while. Make sure y'all go tap it on that video. You know what I mean? But I'm just talking about some Premier League stuff. But at the same time, I also talk about why I was gone for a while. So if y'all curious on why I was gone, go check out the first video I made. But this is the second video. Thank y'all so much for watching. What are we going to talk about today? So, I was thinking about, when I was gone, I was thinking about all the videos I want to make. And one video in particular I wanted to make was a video about, coming into 2025. What are the boxing fights that I want to see happen this year? You know what I mean? Because these past 2 years, we've actually been getting a lot better fights in terms of just like champions going up against each other, right? We look at 2023. It was a great year. Well, a better year, obviously, because we had... what was it? Ryan Garcia versus Tank fight, everything like that. Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford. Last year we had Usyk Fury. You can even look at it like a Haney versus Ryan Garcia fight that happened at the same time. There's a lot of better fights happening. Bigger names. Bigger oppositions fighting each other. It's not always on Twitter no more. People are actually starting to fight each other. At least it seems like that. There's still some fighters out there that are super quick to tweet something out or to put something on social media. But the resume doesn't say, you know what I mean? But I'm going to give y'all my top 5 fights I want to see this year. Obviously, when I say one, I'm going to, explain why I want to see this fight. But yeah, before we get into this, I just want to say one thing. They're not going to be in any particular order. I'm just going to say 5 fights, right? So, other than that, let's just get straight into it, man. First fight, I'm going to just go ahead and say, let's start with David Benavidez going up against the winner between Bivol and Beterbiev. Now, obviously, I didn't make a video about it because I couldn't. But Beterbiev and Bivol fought each other. Let me tell you, very close fight, honestly. But to me, I thought Bivol won the first fight. But they gave it to Beterbiev. I was very surprised, honestly. I thought they would give it to Bivol because I think he won the fight. You know what I mean? I can go on about why I think he won the fight. But for me, I just think personally he did. Regardless, it was a pretty good fight, you know what I mean? And it seems like I believe they are going to run it back, you know what I mean? Beterbiev agreed on it. Bivol obviously wants the rematch to get his belts back, right? And he probably thought he won the fight. So this fight looks like it's going to happen. But yeah, like I said, the winner of this, which I think Bivol can win this rematch. I think he's going to win the rematch. So I'm just going to say I would want to see Bivol versus Benavidez. I think that would be a really good fight, because obviously... if y'all new to the channel, I was always talking about Benavidez going up against Canelo. And at this point now, I just gave up on the fight. I think it's never going to happen, There's a reason why Benavidez went up in weight to 175 because he's tired of just waiting on Canelo to give him the shot, you know what I mean? Canelo has always made up these excuses and stuff like that. And look, I'm saying it how it is, I'm not trying to pick on nobody. If I see somebody ducking, bro, I'm gonna say it, bro, you know what I mean? But yeah, it just seems like he doesn't want the fight. Obviously, Canelo doesn't want the fight. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what? Let's just move on with it. So let's go with Benavidez going up against the top fighters at 175. But yeah, like I said, I think Bivol wins. So I would like to see Benavidez going up against the winner between those two, which would be I think a really good fight because Benavidez is no joke. And honestly, right now he's going up against Morrell. I think next month or the end of this month. He's going up against Morrell, which is a really good fighter too. That could be a tough fight for him. I think Benavidez does beat him, but like I said, it could be a tough fight. But after that should be it right there. He wins against Morrell. That should give him the shot because those two, David Morrell and Benavidez, they're probably the other best two in the weight division, right? So after that, Benavidez, hopefully he wins. He can go up against, the two biggest fighters. For the next fight, we're going to keep it heavyweight. Obviously, we just had Fury up against Usyk right now. Usyk won again, you know what I mean? So I think now is the perfect time for the AJ versus Fury fight. I think it's perfectly timed now because they're both coming off losses. It looks like they're at the end of their career, but at the same time, they can make some huge money because this is a huge fight still. I think it would always be a huge fight, you know what I mean? So Fury versus AJ, I would be down to see it, honestly. I think it should be a fight they should make now because there's no excuses. You know what I mean? I think they're at this level in their career now that they're like in the decline, but they could still bring on a good fight. I think AJ versus Fury could be a good fight. But yeah, like I said, Usyk beat Fury for the second time, which was just absolutely outstanding. I knew he was gonna beat him, but the fact that he did, you know what I mean, and now his resume is looking even better, bro. Usyk is becoming top fighter. You know what I mean? But yeah, AJ versus Fury, I think it would be a good fight to watch. You know what I mean? Number 3, Tank versus Vasily Lomachenko. I need that fight to happen. That's a fight I need to see. I love Tank David. I love the way he fights. He's a showman. He's great power and everything like that. But bro, I'm sorry, his resume is not up to par. You know what I mean? He could be a great fighter, but he's not really fighting the best of the best. You know what I mean? I don't think he's ever really done that. Obviously, the fight with Ryan Garcia, but come on, man. Ryan Garcia was literally dying in the ring. You know what I mean? But listen, I feel like he might be taking his career because I know he talked about, it went kind of viral. He kind of talked about retiring after this fight that actually got canceled against, I didn't even know the guy, man. I'm sorry. I didn't even know the guy who was fighting. But he said after that, he's thinking about retiring this year. And obviously, it's like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? I think that made me seem like, bro, he's not really in it to, make a legacy. He's in it for the money. You know what I mean? Because he's not really fighting anybody too dangerous. And he knows no matter who he fights, he's going to get those pay-per-view buys. People are going to be there to see him. And he's going to get money like that. You know what I mean? So it just seems like if that's what he wants to do, he's just looking for the easy way. Not easy way out, but he's just looking for just to get his money and go. You know what I mean? But respect, because boxing is a dangerous sport. But at the same time, I do feel like he's one of the best, definitely one of the best fighters in the world right now. And I feel like he should be doing a lot more because I want him to make a legacy for himself because he does train hard, bro. He's super dedicated to this craft. You know what I mean? So I feel like if he wants to do that, he needs to start fighting bigger names because he's getting older. He's damn near 30. He might be 30 already, but he's getting up there, right? So Vasily Lomachenko, having that on your resume, and I mean, who knows what could happen in that fight? That's a tough fight. You know what I mean? It'll be a great fight for the fans because Lomachenko, established already in the sport, can do a lot of good things. Tank, we already know about Tank. Tank is an amazing fighter. They're both champions, I think. So I think we just should make that fight happen now. You know what I mean? It should be a perfect fight. So that's just another fight I want to see. But yeah, Tank versus Lomachenko, I really want to see it this year. 4th fight. Now this fight, I guess it's just my personal fight I want to see. And I don't want it to happen now. I want it to happen like at the end of the year. Both of them have maybe one fight and then have this fight. And that's Terence Crawford versus Vergil Ortiz. Look at, if y'all don't know, Vergil Ortiz is my favorite fighter right now. Great fighter. I love watching him fight. You know what I mean? His record is amazing. Obviously, he doesn't have the record or the resume as Terence Crawford. But, bro, I think this would be a good fight for both of them. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people want to watch this fight, and it'll be very entertaining to watch those two fighters fight. Because, obviously, when Vergil Ortiz fights, he's bringing it, and he's pressuring you, high guard, and all that stuff. With his trainers he's got, too, I think it should be a great fight. You know what I mean? So, I think this fight will be really good. And I'm putting it in here because it would be my personal fight I want to see. Because, like I said, Vergil Ortiz is my personal favorite, and I really, really, really like the way Terence Crawford fights. You know what I mean? His last fight was a little sleeper, I'm not going to lie. But it could also be because the guy he was fighting, you know what I mean? I bet you anything when Vergil Ortiz, if Vergil Ortiz fights Terence Crawford, that fight would be fireworks. I promise. I think it would bring a different level to Terence Crawford. And at the same time, Crawford is getting older. You know what I mean? I don't know how long he's going to fight. They're talking about Canelo versus Crawford. Please don't do this fight. I really do not want to see this fight. I said time and time again, horrible fight. I don't want to explain myself anymore. I need to see him going up against people in his weight class. You know what I mean? So I think Vergil Ortiz should fight one more fight and then go into the Terence Crawford fight. I understand it's like one of those things where you a vet going up against a youngster. But I think it could be 50-50. Only because Terence Crawford is getting a little older. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't even want to say who I think is going to win. But, yeah, I think it'll be a great fight to watch. And the fans will absolutely love it. For the last fight, now look, this fight right here, I think I'm putting it last because I think I don't think it could happen. But if they can make it happen, bro, this fight will be absolutely ridiculous. And that's Bam Rodriguez versus Inoue. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Look, I know they're both in I think it's 2 separate weight classes between them, right? It can't happen, but, like, bro, maybe a catch weight. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I just think, man, I wish I could see that fight because I love both fighters. They're both, I think for me, they're both in the top 5 pound for pound list. Bam, amazing performance in his last fight. Anyway, always putting up amazing performances. Just imagine that fight anywhere. It could be in Inoue's hometown or in his backyard. It could be in the United States, anywhere. I think that fight would sell. It could be a great fight. But like I said, it's very unlikely to happen because obviously their weights are different. Both small guys, but I feel like there's not always a lot of eyes, even in those smaller weight classes. But man, those two can fight, bro. I'm telling you right now, I think it would sell. I think it would do really good. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just want to put that one in there just because, like, it's like, it's very unlikely. But if it happens, bro, I'm there. No matter what, I'm there if it happens. A lot of fights that could be made this year, but I think those 5 are the ones I really want to see. You know what I mean? I want to see what Devin Haney does when he comes back too. Ryan Garcia, I don't know what he's doing, but he was supposed to fight in Tokyo or something like that. Didn't happen, but we'll see what he does. New champions now. Let's see what they do. Teofimo Lopez. I wanted to put Teofimo Lopez in here too, but I don't know. That guy's just super inconsistent, so I wasn't going to. But yeah, those are my top 5 fights I want to see happen. Realistically, I see about, let me see. Do I see the Benavidez versus the winner between Bivol and Beterbiev? Absolutely. I think that fight will happen this year. Okay. Do I see AJ versus Fury? I see that happening. Do I see, who else did I say? Tank versus Lomachenko? I'm gonna say no just because what Tank said. I don't know if he's really locked in like that, but I'm just gonna say no. I don't know if that fight would happen. Terrence Crawford versus Vergil Ortiz. I low-key do. I could see it happening at the end of the year, so I would say yes. And then the last fight, no. So 3 out of 5, I think could happen this year. If that happens, I'll be happy with it. You know what I mean? So we'll just see what happens. Obviously, new year. It's gonna be some fights going on. The Saudi Arabia, they're bringing some big money into the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. They're making some pretty good fights. You know what I mean? But yeah, other than that, I got nothing else to say. I just want to come on here and say my top 5 fights I wanted to see. Like always, thank y'all so much for watching the video. I appreciate all the love and support y'all give me. Other than that, I got nothing else to say. Thank y'all so much for watching.